Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to Open House. I am Mrs. Kramer, and I am your student's AP Calculus BC teacher. I was really hoping to be there tonight to meet with you all and get to talk with you about your students' progress. However, as you probably know, I am out on maternity leave, and it was just a little bit too soon to leave the house. So I thought a cool way to deliver some information to you would be to do what I do with your students, which is to communicate via these videos. So it's just like I'm there, except I'm talking to you through a machine instead of in person. I absolutely love teaching AP Calculus BC. I think it's a really exciting class. The students I get are absolutely fantastic. The material that we get to work with is very rigorous. It's from a second semester calculus class in college, so this is very advanced math. And I also love that my students get the chance to redeem themselves if they didn't get quite the score they were hoping to get on the Calc AB exam. I know that more and more colleges are only accepting 4s and 5s or maybe even 5s. And so I love that this class gives students a chance to bring up their AB score and perhaps earn credit if they didn't the first time. And I told my students this, but my goal for this year is for 100% of them to pass the AP exam. And I wholeheartedly believe that this is possible. Last year, we got very close. Last year, 92% of my students passed. And I think this year we can hit 100%. A lot of parents want to know where their son or daughter's grade is coming from. So here are the components for their grade in my class. 10% of their grade comes from homework, 30% comes from quizzes, and 60% comes from tests. The quizzes are really quick. I call them checkpoint quizzes. They're skill-based. Are you following along? Can you perform this operation? Can you do this? And then the tests are much more indicative of what they are likely to see on the AP exam. So whereas the quizzes are really just me checking in, are you getting the basics? The tests are pushing them to be prepared for the AP exam at the end of the year. Each day, I begin usually with some type of bell work, and then we review the previous night's homework. We cover new material, and I try to build in some time at the end of class to practice, either individually or with students in pairs or small groups. Then I assign homework that applies and extends what they learned in class. The AP exam itself is on the morning of May 7th. It is a 3-hour and 15-minute exam that is structured identically to the calculus exam that they took last year. The graphing calculators are absolutely required for the exam. The proctors will not let them sit for the test without having an approved graphing calculator. And again, just like last year, the AP Calculus exam consists of 2 equally weighted sections. The multiple choice has 45 multiple choice questions, and the free response has 6 free response. And that is split between calculator and non-calculator questions. Each year, I conduct a full-length practice exam on a Saturday that is absolutely mandatory. This year, that is on Saturday, April 12th. I told all of my students about this on the very first day of school, and it has been up on my board ever since. So there are no excuses when it comes to this practice exam. Now, if something extreme comes up, we can work with that. Okay, I'm not going to give a 0 if something really very serious comes up. However, in general, this is a no exceptions kind of situation. If something does come up, then your son or daughter needs to come talk to me as soon as possible, preferably before the date of the practice exam, to arrange something. So they'll take a full-length simulated exam, and then I will grade it just like I'm an AP grader, and I will give them that feedback on where they are and how they can improve leading up to the AP exam. Here are a few helpful links. First of all, I update Progress Book very often. Not as often now that I'm on maternity leave, but I am still grading their quizzes and tests and keeping that updated. So that is still a valuable, relevant source of information for your students' grades. And then the second link I have on here, this Google site link, is really cool. This is where I am hosting all of the videos that I'm showing while I'm out on maternity leave. And I want to show you a little bit what that looks like. So here is what that site looks like when you first log in. This is probably the site that you went to fill out the student and family information form. But over here under maternity leave videos, you see each unit that's going to be covered while I'm out. And if you click on one, for example, we just started a unit on differential equations. If you click on that, it takes you to every video for that chapter, okay? And so you can scroll through here and you can see everything that we're going to cover leading up to the test on that topic. The really cool thing about this is that if your student is absent for a day, they can still participate in the entire lesson. So if your student, let's say, is going to be absent on October 2nd, tomorrow, they can still view this video, and it's like they didn't even, miss school. So this is how I'm delivering information to them while I'm out, but it also has some cool benefits in terms of absences and field trips and things like that. So these videos are going to stay up for the entire year, which also means that they're going to be great for reviewing as we lead into the AP exam. A few other helpful links. This first one is the designated deriver blog. That is not mine. It's something that another teacher has created that has a lot of useful calculus information. So it's a good site for just some extra help. And then the second link is just the general College Board link, which has basic information about AP exams, the AP exam schedule, and then some specifics about each subject area. If your student is struggling, they can come in for help. Tuesdays and Thursdays after school, Mu Alpha Theta tutoring takes place in my classroom, 536. Even though I'm not there, that's still happening. Unfortunately, there aren't a whole lot of, students or teachers that can help with this content just because it's so high up. But students can help each other. And I think that's kind of what's happening now that I'm out, is that they're kind of leaning on each other for help. And I think that's great because I think it's making them more independent, resource-seeking problem solvers, which is really going to benefit them on the AP exam. We can also talk about improving study habits, and we can talk about frequently reviewing past material because, as you know, in math, everything builds on what we've already learned. And so you really have to master one concept before you can really move on to the next. If you need to contact me, you have a few options. First of all, you can call the guidance office to set up a parent-teacher conference. You can always email me. That is my email address, amanda.kramer@ocps.net. And I am still checking that even though I'm out. It might take me a little while longer than usual to respond to you, but that is still valid. And then once I do return, you can reach me via voicemail. This extension is actually wrong. There's the right extension. And so you can leave me a voicemail and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I really am sorry that I'm not there to get to meet with all of you, but please feel free to contact me if you need anything. And thank you for letting me work with your sons and daughters because I have a really awesome group this year in Calc BC and I'm very optimistic about their success in the class. So thank you very much and have a great evening.